Hello, it's 6 o'clock. Good morning and welcome to the Class Breakfast News. The news is live on Class 91.3 FM in Accra, Ho FM 92.5 in the Volta region, Dagbon FM 102.5 in Tamale, Radio 1 92.1 in the Upper West region, Radio Power 96 in Spain. Around the world, join us on Class FM online.com. Coming up in this bulletin, thousands of MPP supporters march in Accra to protest what the party described as political persecution and attack on democratic institutions.
Notice to stage a mammoth demonstration. The essence of this demonstration is the selective justice we are witnessing.
Meanwhile, political analyst questions the MPP protest today.
Well, I would say that it's neither of the two. The only thing you can say is that probably they won't have a way of re-energizing their base.
Also coming up in this bulletin, Ghana marks 1 year since death of Omanibuama Muntala Mohammed and 6 others in a helicopter crash. Also, fresh legal battle emerges over Abdul Wahab and Aidoo criminal charges. We will bring you more details on this subsequently.
This is the Class Breakfast News.
I am Elizabeth Aidoo and you're welcome to Class 91.3 FM. Let's settle for the details of the news. Thousands of supporters of the New Patriotic Party are expected to hit the streets of Accra today in a protest the party says is aimed at defending Ghana's democratic institutions and also the rule of law. The demonstration, dubbed Democracy Under Attack, forms part of the party's campaign against what it describes as growing political persecution, selective justice and the abuse of state institutions under the current administration. Among the key concerns raised by the MPP is the acquittal on discharge of the former Maslok Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, which the party argues and raises questions about the consistency and impartiality of Ghana's justice system. The party is also protesting what it described as the arbitrary arrest, detention and alleged harassment of some of its members by the state's investigative and security agencies, claiming that such actions are politically motivated. The protest will begin at the forecourt of the Supreme Court, where the party leaders are expected to present a petition before marching through some principal streets of Accra to the Jubilee House to submit another petition to the president. The Greater Accra Regional Police Command has approved the demonstration and announced security arrangements to ensure public order and safety of participants, motorists and pedestrians. The MPP National Organizer Nana B has been speaking.
We gather in front of the Supreme Court. We'll present the first petition at the Supreme Court. And then we'll move straight in front of the streets, the Yoko Street, the street in front of Yoko. Then we will just move straight to Jubilee House to present the other petition. There will be a last petition that will be sent to Parliament House that will delegate the leadership in Parliament, some leaders of our party, to present that petition. We are going to hold this mammoth demonstration, Democracy Under Attack. Democracy under attack. And it is so amazing how President Mahama, in 2025, immediately became president. He sanctioned the Attorney General to go to the court and free all NDC elements who are standing trial for various. You recall the 5.7 billion Unibank scandal. The Attorney General, on the instructions of the president, went to court, entered nulli prosequi, freed all of them. You recall the settlement, $200 million project. They were supposed to build 5,000 units of houses.
Thus, the New Patriotic National Organizer Henry Nana Boachi, known as Nana B. Meanwhile, political analyst Jonathan Asantiotre says the MPP's claim that democracy is under attack may be a strategic move to re-energize its support base. He argues that while the party has the constitutional right to demonstrate, Ghana's democratic institutions remain functional and citizens continue to enjoy their freedom.
Well, I would say that it's neither of the two. The only thing you can say is that probably they won't have a way of re-energizing their base. Others too have their own parochial interests. And that parochial interest is about their forthcoming election and where they want to position themselves, because coming on the back of the mammoth defeat or gargantuan defeat that is suffered at the hands of the current government, the current party in government, that is the NDC. Many are those who have the view that the current leadership at the national level have no business remaining there, whether general secretary, whether chairman, whether national organizer. And so it is just like behind every action there is a reason, or there is a selfish interest, and that is what is panning out as we now. What is it that is called selective justice? Over the years, I've never seen any attorney general who will file nollie prosecutor. Do you remember the nollie prosecutor that President Kufuor, when the people lost the elections, filed for Nana Aidoo over there in Sawam Cannery? What did anybody explain in it? After dragging the woman back and forth, your own, like somebody from your lineage, and it was just a political prosecution. Nothing came out of it. Then you found another prosecutor, and the woman denied that no, they don't need it.
That's political analyst Jonathan Asante Otri in an interview with my colleague Kwame Otri Jr. Let's move on to some other stories, because a year after the death of Defense Minister Dr. Edward Mane-Boamah, Environment Minister Dr. Ibrahim Muntalam Mohammed, and 6 others in the military helicopter crash, government is holding a series of activities to commemorate their lives and contribution. The victims, who have been remembered as the departed 8, died on August 6, 2025, when an Air Force helicopter crashed in the Adansi area of the Ashanti region while on an official assignment. The others who lost their lives were the acting Deputy National Security Coordinator Alhaji Mohammed Muniru, the Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress Dr. Samuel Sapon, former NDC parliamentary candidate for Obuasi East Samuel Abuaje, Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Chuma Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Aidoo Mensah. The one-year commemoration began on July 30 with the presentation of funds to families of the departed 8 at the banquet hall of the presidency. This was followed on Tuesday, August 4, by the Dr. Edward Mane-Boamah Memorial Lecture organized by the Ministry of Defense and all students of Pope John Senior High School at the Bema Hall at Bema Camp. Today, Thursday, August 6, a national interfaith memorial service will be held at UPSA Auditorium at 9:30 a.m. to honor the departed soul. Later today at 4 p.m. the Ministry of Defense will unveil a cenotaph at their premises. The commemoration will end on Saturday, August 7, with a nationwide service to the soul blood donation drive at the district, regional and other hospitals across the country. We are following this. We'll bring you more details on that right here on Class 91.3 FM. Now, lawyers for Abdul Hanan Wahab and former National Bureau Director General Kwabena Aidoo have petitioned the Chief Justice over the decision to continue the criminal trial during the judicial legal vacation. The 2 legal team, led by the former Attorney General Godfrey Adame for Abdul Hanan Wahab and Samuel Atachia for Kwabena Aidoo, argues that proceeding with the cases during the court recess goes against established judicial practice and ruins governing sitting of the Superior Court. In a separate letter dated August 5, the lawyers informed the Chief Justice that they would not participate in proceedings scheduled during vacation. Godfrey Adame, in his letter on behalf of Abdul Hanan Wahab, said the trial judge informed parties at the last sitting that he had received authorization to hear the case during the vacation and advised them that any concern should be directed to the Chief Justice. The defense team argues that the trial had not commenced before vacation and therefore should not have been listed for hearing during the recess. Similarly, Samuel Atachia, representing Kwabena Aidoo, objected to the vacation hearing, insisting that no exceptional circumstances had been provided to justify continuing the case during the period. The lawyers maintained that hearing should instead proceed when the court resume regular sitting. Calls are growing for a comprehensive probe into the violence at Obuasi Senior High Technical School, with the National PTA insisting that the findings must help strengthen safety and discipline in school. The call follows a directive by the Obuasi Municipal Security Council to immediately close down the school after a violent student riot left the headmaster, Abdullahi Zakaria, critically injured and caused extensive damage to school properties. The headmaster is said to have obtained severe head injury after some students allegedly attacked him over rumors that he had secretly buried an infant on the school premises. Speaking to Class News, the public relations officer for the National Parent Teachers Association, Irene Sam, said while the association welcomes the intervention by the Municipal Assembly, only a thorough investigation can establish the facts and guide appropriate actions.
Actually, upon seeing it and hearing of it is so devastating. You know, we felt that where we are now, we have passed by some of these things. The kind of talks that we are having with our wards, the kind of indiscipline that we want to, encourage in our schools. We will not anticipate something of this sort to happen. But as we have realized, it has already happened. So we are also grateful to the municipal chief executive for the move that she has taken just to ascertain the whole situation for now. But we'll only wait for investigation to be carried out because what they have is not good at all. It's something that we don't even want to hear as a PTA or as a national body. It's not something that we parents want to hear about it. So as it has happened now, we want to do our further investigations as to why some of these things should happen. We know that ordinarily laws shouldn't be taken into people's hands. Whatever it is, it should be addressed amicably. So we'll do our investigations and see where the issues are and see how we can also come in and help the situation. Yes, you are perfectly right that child begins at home. And then the discipline that we are talking about, it should emanate from the home. The home becomes the cradle for discipline and for all forms of training in terms of moral and other values that we can inculcate in our world.
That's the Public Relations Officer for the National Parent Teachers Association, Irene Sam. Two hostels at the Koforidua Technical University have been shut down as part of a nationwide exercise targeting unlicensed accommodation facilities. The 3 weeks exercise being undertaken by the Ghana Tourism Authority and the Redd Control Commission is aimed at protecting students from hostel facilities that fail to meet required licensing and sanitation standards ahead of the next academic semester. Speaking during the shutdown of these two hostels in the Eastern Region, the Eastern Regional Director of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Jones Haruna Nelson, said the affected facilities were found to be operating without meeting the required standards.
We are having a joint collaboration to see how our hostels are doing in terms of the category F falls under hostel. So the LI 2239 mandates us to regulate accommodation facility. But hostels fall under category F, which we are mandated to license them, regulate them by way of inspection, regulation, and license. We are doing a recce now, prior to the enforcement. We are doing the enforcement throughout the whole nation because we have had a cry from hosteling, telling the commissioner of the challenges they are going through. We've come here, we've realized that the place is not fit for purpose.
That's the Eastern Regional Director of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Jones Haruna Nelson. Meanwhile, the acting Redd Control Commissioner, Frederick Opoku, said the nationwide exercise will target all unlicensed and unsanitary hostels taking advantage of students. He added that the students affected by the closure of these facilities in these two hostels at Koforidua Technical University will receive their funds. Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has renewed calls for the removal of structures along the Abublushi-Galloway drains buffer zone, warning that they are undermining efforts to control flooding in Accra. The head of waste management at AMA, Solomon Noy, says clearing illegal structures within the buffer zone will help prevent indiscriminate dumping into the drain and improve the stilting works. He added that the move will support ongoing interventions under the Greater Accra Resilience and Integrated Development Project, which is aimed at reducing flooding and improve drainage system in the capital.
It is actually on contract under the World Bank project, and with World Bank projects, they must see to the safeguards by making sure that the necessary compensations are paid to the affected communities and residents within the sections that are required before they can do the dredging work. Because even if they dredge, they must put the silts or the dredge materials at a buffer, which should be about 50 meters away from the banks of the river. We have to take bold steps by making sure that we protect the buffer. Because no matter what we do, once the buffer is not there, you cannot do any serious dredging. Because you must pour them on the buffer and make sure that we do even some landscaping to prevent further siltation in future.
That's the head of waste management at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Solomon Noy. To some African news, more than 300 people abducted in separate attacks in Nigeria have been rescued in what the presidency described as the country's largest single-day rescue operation carried out by Joint Security Force. The victims were rescued from a national park in Niger State in the operation involving the military, police, intelligence agencies, and other security bodies. We'll bring you more details on this right here on Class 91.3 FM. For now, this ends the Class Breakfast News with me, Elizabeth Aidoo. For more news and updates, do log on to classfmonline.com. The morning show continues with Kwame Ochi Jr. Do stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. I am Elizabeth Aidoo. Have a good morning.